Let's dance. Good morning. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Mariner Record Journal, alongside who else but my man in red for the World Series champion Boston Red Sox, Shawnee Krofsick. Hey, we are coming to you Saturday morning. It is This Week in High School Sports, football edition. Shawnee, we kind of had a little break this week, so to speak, because we had 2 games moved to Thursday, only 2 on Friday, 2 more today, and the big stunner for us was Friday night. We just put the wraps on this. Platte football losing to Bristol Central 21-20, and that's a big hit for the Panthers.
Yeah, tough one for Platte. Scoreless first quarter. Lorenzo Sanson, 6-yard touchdown pass to Jake Baker, and then Justice Fitzpatrick for Central runs in for 47 yards. They go up 7-6. Platte missed the extra point there.
And it would haunt them.
It would haunt them. Platte would go up before the half. Lorenzo Sanson to Trey Carter, the star from last week, 30-yard touchdown pass. They did complete the 2-point conversion to Baker, 14-7 at the half, 14-14 after 3. And then in the fourth quarter, Platte takes the lead 20-14. Sanson to Carter again, 10-yard fade. And then Central responded, Justice with a 1-yard touchdown run. They go up 21-20. Platte has a last chance, but they had an interception, and that's pretty much how it ended.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But what about Bristol Central and Justice Fitzpatrick? I mean, they swept the Meriden teams this year. Of course, they beat Maloney a couple weeks back, 29-22. Maloney has recovered. We'll get to their highlights in a bit. They've won 3 in a row since. But for Platte, this is a tough one now because they've lost 2 games. And next week they got to go to Middletown. And then, of course, they have Maloney on Thanksgiving. So basically what Platte has to do, and, of course, this is within the realm of possibility, but they need to win out. They cannot lose a third game. And if they beat Middletown, which is undefeated, if they beat Maloney, which is looking like it'll be 8-1 at Thanksgiving, then Platte's right in the middle of things. But that's what the Panthers have to do because they have fallen to number 9 in the Class L points at this point.
Roberto Salas also left with a thigh injury as well. Sean Bell Jr. came in. But, yeah, they got to get healthy.
Hopefully Salas will be back. Fine sophomore season for Roberto. Of course, was an Athlete of the Week winner for us. But that was the final this Friday night from Bristol Central. The rain and wind came in late in the game, and that didn't help Platte on its last effort there with the ball. 21-20 final. Also tonight down in Cheshire, Daniel Hand came in defending Class L champs, undefeated. They're a powerhouse, proved it anew, beating Cheshire 49-14. Cheshire had won 2 games going into that game, but Hand is just on a whole other level. They were up 49-0 by halftime. Speaking of a whole other level, Shawnee, Southington Blue Knights, they are 8-0. They played on Thursday in Enfield, and the big thing there was coming off that big win in East Hartford, would Southington kind of be a little flat against Enfield? That was not the case, was it?
It was not. No, this one was over early. So Southington was up 42-7 at the half. Actually, no, check that. It was 44-13 at the half. It was just it was the Jacob Drina show again. 4 more touchdown passes, and he spread the wealth. Jamie Lansom, Carter Ullman, Will Downs, Jacob Flynn all caught touchdowns, and Dylan Cole with 3 rushing touchdowns. It was 8-0 Knights.
Yep, 51-14 final up in Enfield. That's a good sign of a good team, that they don't suffer any type of letdown after a big win. So there's Southington in the thick of things in Class AA, but that's a murderous class because we were just sizing up the points. And Southington theoretically, and this is all just theoretically because there's still a couple weeks to play, and you can hem and haw and guess and speculate, but the fact is Southington could go 10-0 and not have a home game for the quarterfinals. That just boggles your mind. And it's too late at night for our minds to be boggled. Let's move over to the Maloney game. That was also on Thursday night. We mentioned Maloney a couple weeks back, lost to Bristol Central. Since then, the Spartans have been at Falcon Field setting up shop, and they've really been laying the hammer down. Third win this week. They beat Newington quite handily. Final score there was 43-20. Our man Spence got highlights from that game as well. Shawnee, why don't you take us through some of the highlights there for the Spartans?
Yeah, well, they started in the first minute. James Tarver had a 28-yard touchdown run, and they were off and running. Tarver finished with the 2 touchdowns. He also had a 49-yard touchdown run. 87 yards, only on 4 carries.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing stuff. Elliot Good was also sharp as usual. 2 touchdown passes, one to Vincent Martinez, one to Jalen Nixon. Nixon's was a 23-yarder. Good finished 215 yards with 2 touchdowns. Victor Marquez, another big game, 9 catches, 106 yards. Darian Murray added a rushing touchdown. And, this game was all Maloney, 29-6 at the half. They churned out 474 total yards on offense. And defensively, they did block an extra point. So
474 yards. And again, a lot of that probably, most of it by halftime.
Yeah.
That's 3 home wins in a row for Maloney, and all 3 have been quite emphatic.
Yeah.
So Maloney now is at 7-1. And they are, I'm going to check my notes here, Shawnee, because I very diligently wrote them down. They're number 5 in the Class L points. They're looking good, and they have a chance to at least repeat. They will repeat as Division II champ if they win out. Depends what happens in other games. They won, of course, the division last year. At this point, they're in the mix for at least a share of it. We'll see what happens. Also, of course, a return to the Class L playoffs. Hey, one other note about Maloney before we go. Victor Marquez, what a year Victor is having for the Spartans. He is very close to passing Alejandro Ortiz on the Maloney receiving list. Alejandro pretty much just a couple years back has all the Maloney receiving records, and Victor's like right there ready to break them all.
Impressive.
Probably the next game when Maloney goes up to Conard next Friday. Those are the 4 games that we had this week. Now, it's Saturday morning as you watch this. Sheen is down in Bridgeport against Bassick, looking to improve their Class M playoff ham. They're looking very good at 5-1. Also tonight, Wilcox Tech looking to break 5-game losing streak when they host Quinebaug Valley. Shawnee, that is a wrap for this week in High School Sports Football Edition. Next Friday is a big night. A big, busy night, and we'll see where we stand when the dust clears then. Also next week, the CIAC tournaments start. We hope to bring you some highlight shows from that as well. For now, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Mariner Record, alongside my man, Shawnee Krofsick. Be good.